Good morning, everybody. Today we have a special guest star, Ruby, who's now giving me, maybe even Max. Go. Let's see. Come here, boy. Come on. Come on in here. So today, yesterday we were talking about neurobiology. Here's Max. Look. Say hi. Oh, aren't they cute? Yes, these are my babies. All right. We were talking about neurobiology, but something happened yesterday and I want to share it with you. I live in Arizona, and out here in Arizona, we have a lot of snakes. And there's kind of good snake. All snakes are good. They eat rodents and stuff, but there's a lot of rattlesnakes. Yeah. And this is a rattlesnake that was in front of my apartment, and I had him taxidermied. I'm just kidding. But rattlesnakes are very dangerous. Their neurobiology is very simple, and they're very reactive. And that's one of the things that we're talking about is reactivity. Ruby got bit by a rattlesnake. You can see she's got a little bald spot. I'll do one over that one right there. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. So when we're talking about reactivity, which is when you're in that sympathetic response, the fight, flight, or freeze, you don't really have a lot of choices, or you think you don't because you're scared and you want to defend yourself. But what you do have are your instincts to run, fight, or hide. And so what the rattlesnake does is usually they're just laying around and nothing's bothering them. But this is also like some reactive people. I used to say my sister was a rattlesnake because she could just be laying around doing nothing, just all nice and calm. And then the next minute, she's, Max is burrowing. The next minute, she's screaming at you. So these are the people you want to watch out for too. I call them rattlesnakes, and usually they're not going to bother you unless you step on them. So, and now stepping on other people's bubble or stepping on other people's rights to be healthy, that's kind of happening now. And so there's a lot of reactive people out there. People who are reactive because they don't want to stay home. They want to go out, and so they're pissed about that. So basically, though, the rattlesnake most of the time isn't going to hurt you. It's just going to be an unfortunate synchronicity if you guys encounter each other. But at my other apartment, they were all over the place. So I moved into this apartment, and I had a king snake here. The king snake is the king of snakes, and it's a really good snake. So when we're talking about our neurobiology, I want you to be thinking about rattlesnakes. I want to be thinking about if you're a rattlesnake. Like, do you have a branch on your tree that you don't like? Like, maybe it's the way you treat people. Maybe it's the way you react when people give you some feedback you don't want to hear. Maybe you hold on to your reactivity for a long, long time. This is called passive aggressive, where you don't say anything and you don't say anything and you don't say anything, but then when you do say something, it's like a rattlesnake bite to the other person. So right now our reactivity is going to be much higher, meaning we're going to be easier to snap because we're stressed, our nervous systems are stressed, and if we were rattlesnakes, we already kind of feel like somebody stepped on us. So the tools that I covered in the first 7 videos are going to be ones that are really going to help you out. The breathing, the yoga, the meditation, the guided hypnosis. What else did I say was good? There's a whole bunch of different things I was mentioning in there. So you want to look up things, you want to keep yourself de-stressed. Heat is good, massage is good. And we're going to talk later, we'll talk about medication and herbal supplements. Today I wanted to kind of get into the reactivity, and just kind of explaining it. So reactivity, you're in your sympathetic nervous system. Now what you don't want to do is get stuck in it, because some people, you know, get stuck in it, and those are the people who are like this guy. Yeah, and they're just always pissed, kind of much, and they have no empathy. Zombies don't have empathy. They're just going to come and eat your brain. And there are people out there right now that are this way too, because they just don't know how to manage their feelings, their thoughts, and their reactions, like we're trying to learn. And so we don't need to hate them. They're just like zombies. You know what's to hate? I mean, zombies are cool, but they're dangerous, and they're reactive all the time. So if you know someone like this who's gotten to this stage where their brain is kind of frozen in that sympathetic response, and you can tell it's a true zombie because there's no calm time like the rattlesnake. Most of us can be rattlesnakes sometimes, but we want to be more like the king snake. But the rattlesnake, you know, sometimes it's just doing its thing, and it's a very helpful creature because it takes care of pests. The zombie, on the other hand, is just going to destroy your brain and you, and it doesn't care about anybody but itself. You could call it narcissism, you could call it self-preservation, but the zombie doesn't care about anybody else's feelings or what anybody else needs. So be on the lookout for the rattlesnakes and the zombies. We can forgive some rattlesnakes. Somebody who's this bad off, I think we just do best to protect ourselves. All right. I will see you tomorrow.